The HBCU First Look Film Let's Talk series is touring historically black colleges and bringing experienced Hollywood film and TV executives, producers, directors, writers, content creators, and influencers for informative conversations on how to build a career in entertainment. We're looking for the next Spike Lee, Ruth Carter, Will Packer, hailing from the HBCU community. Are you the next? Get ready for an inspiring, empowering, and enlightening conversation. The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers. On today's episode, we're going behind the scenes with the Paramount Plus series Lawman Bass Reeves and ESPN's The Crossover, 50 Years of Hip Hop and Sports. We're sitting down with Lawman Bass Reeves actress and Howard University alumna Lauren E. Banks, as well as one of the series directors, Damian Marcano, in addition to the crossover filmmaker Julian Gooden, moderated by author Ronda Pinrice and WUSA 9 news anchor and Jackson State University alumnus Wisdom Martin. It's the HBCU First Look Film. Let's talk. Behind the scenes with the HBCU First Look Film Festival.
I'm the law of this land. I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Bass Reeves. And your wicked days are done.
Whoa, okay, y'all. Are y'all ready? I'm Ronda Pnrice. I will have a brief Q&A. Are we ready to welcome Lauren E. Banks back to the stage? Are we ready to hear from Damian Marcano?
I'm gonna leave the hot seat.
We're gonna put Miss Jenny in the center over here.
Hello.
So, tell me, for both of you, what did you know about Bass Reeves, and what was the responsibility of this?
I knew the log line, right? Like I knew Bass Reeves was a great American hero. I knew that Bass Reeves was the first black deputy U.S. Marshal, and I knew the context in which he existed. But the responsibility therein when you play a character who lived, which David did for Bass and what I did for Jenny, was you do your work. You research. I had every research tool imaginable. I fell asleep with almanacs from 1865 on my pillow, I did a lot. Then you have your actor work in terms of your working the dialect and the physical work and riding horses and the weapons training and all of that. But the real responsibility is a spiritual one, where you connect with who they were. And you connect with the world in which they existed, and it required me to unplug a lot. There were mornings or days where I didn't touch my phone until 3 p.m. And my dad is like, "You're in Texas. I need you to pick up the phone when I call," when you're filming and stuff. But at the same time, it was a matter of getting out of the way so they could come through.
And I must tell you guys, what you just saw, this is not Damian's work yet. But when you get to episodes 4, 5, and 6, you're going to feel the power of what this man has in store for you. So if you like what you're seeing now, you're going to love it as you go along. So Damian, because you are originally from Trinidad,
Yeah, man.
what was your entry in this world
Well,
of Bass Reeves?
anybody here from Trinidad by chance? So,
We got one in the back.
one in the back? Here we go. All right. So Trini, you could probably tell them this too, but I always ask audiences that we've been showing this to. Where I am from, I do not find it entertainment when I see people like myself being beat on screen. I don't find it strong script writing. I don't find it necessary. So I was hoping that you all wouldn't either. And I signed up to do a pretty triumphant part of this family story. For it was the first time as a black man in the world I had ever heard of a triumphant or a positive story of us in this country in that time period. So that got me a little, it's the Rasta in me. I tell people I am a Rasta before I'm a director. So I've been in this Hollywood system trying to find purpose in the work. That's very few and far between. What they do have is money. That can be helpful to you as well. But if you're like me and you're chasing the purpose, what you hope to run into at some point is people from Howard University. Because I think y'all really got the purpose thing going on here. And I met this purpose-driven woman in that same West Texas area, and we all, without even speaking, I think from the time we met each other, we're looking at each other kind of like, you good? Talk to your family? All right, they know you're safe? So we all felt that. We all had the weight and the pressure of our society, I think, also on us while we were reliving a past that we may all know, but yet we had not been dropped into. And this project, as a result, has made me kind of reinvigorate myself as far as the chase of that purpose again. So I'm hoping that this opens up many more stories that have been hidden for the last 150 years.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you, you may not know his name, but you've seen his work on Snowfall, Claws, so I know some of us have seen that.
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
The 2024 HBCU First Look Film Festival and Challenge is here. Join us this November 8th through 10th at Howard University for amazing film screenings, enlightening workshops, celebrity guest appearances, internship opportunities, and more. Submit your film by August 28th for a chance to win a cash prize and internship opportunity. Secure your stay with our hotel packages at the Residence Inn by Marriott. For more information, visit hbcufirstlook.com.
It's time to embrace you, your melanin-rich skin, and its unique beauty needs.
When you get over the age of 50, you definitely have to start using things on your skin.
I Know is made specifically to address maturing skin conditions. All of the I Know products provide highly effective natural ingredients dedicated to delivering proven results.
The best advice my mother gave me, take care of your skin now so to take care of you later.
I Know, your beauty solution for maturing skin. I Know Skincare guides you through your unique skin conditions, sensitivities, and challenges as it matures through life's transformation. I Know provides highly effective skincare products with natural ingredients formulated to offer solutions and deliver effective moisturizing results, giving your skin the hydration it needs while reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. I Know. It's time for a new relationship with your skincare.
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
Now, Lauren, for you, how did Howard prepare you for this moment? I know that you've been in City on the Hill, but how did Howard prepare you to do this?
Howard prepared me in every way, and I think the biggest way in which Howard prepared me for stepping into Jenny Reeves' shoes was that, when you're a student in fine arts, you don't get much time to step outside of fine arts, right? And, but at the same time, you'll have someone that'll come along and say, hey, make sure you go outside and get some of what else is on the yard and what else is in DC and everything. And I've been talking about that, but I think it's the total context in which you exist as a Howard student that makes the Mecca, right? Like that makes your particular experience so rich. And so that was helpful to me. And then I think, my professors and the way in which we're trained as artists in this particular place is not just as, mechanical practitioners, but as, you pull it up from the earth. And
you get it out the mud.
Yeah, you do the salt, all the things, and that's who she was. You know what I mean? And what I understand her to be, and also what they were traversing was that experience. So I don't think I could understand that had I gone. I'm not going to say any schools' names, but had I gone somewhere else in an environment where I didn't get to know who I was by looking at who I was across from me every day, and in my teachers who loved You may not think they do, but if they are there and they're barely putting one foot in front of the other to get there, they really love you. And that is a love that will endure in a system that, when you're creating something, and yes, they want you to create it, but maybe they don't, Some other people don't want you to create it, so yeah.
And for Damian, I think I'm sure we have some directors in the room. How did you get here? I know it's a long story. Give us the short version.
A BWIA flight from Trinidad.
I'm talking about, how did you get into the directing life here?
I don't have that. I was sitting on the rock, man. I was sitting on the rock in the Caribbean Sea, and some people from Hollywood started calling me. Is the short answer. Besides the how, I'll tell you why it lasted. I was home one time. And I went out on a little pirogue boat with my uncle. My uncle was a fisherman for 42 years at the time. Me, him, and my cousin. On the way back, the engine cuts out. And here we are off the coast of Trinidad in dark purple waters. The boat just rocking. I'm seeing the horizon over and over. My uncle decides to ask me, how the film thing going? And I said, how is the film thing going? Right now, I kind of want to know how are we getting out of this. My cousin is back there doing some kind of mechanism with the engine, getting water out the line. He said, nah, man, how the film thing going? I said, to be honest with you, Unc, it's been hard. I didn't realize this journey would be this tough. I thought people might just see me, see what I was doing, and maybe I was feeling myself a little too early. I just kind of maybe feel like quitting. And he said, nah, man. He says, sometimes in life, where you want to go, you can't go on foot. You're going to need someone with an engine. So the long story short is the boat started again after he said that, and that's probably why I always remember that moment, because it was literally a story on the verge of death. And I took it to heart. I started figuring out what's the big engines I could get around. I started talking to people like Taylor Sheridan, who I always say he poured gasoline on my fire. These are all more forms of the engine. As creatives, we have a lot of people around us who sometimes want the same goals. And I think that strains friendships. It's very tough to have relationships, etc. And our lives end up this kind of weird, crazy, fucked up existence, and we just blame it on, well, we're creative. No, it's just that we don't value ourselves enough, early enough. When I met Lauren, I met a person that valued herself as much as I stand before you as a very proud Rasta man. You can't tell me nothing about that. I couldn't tell her nothing about what she was doing. And I think true artists look for that in each other. So if you have people around you that are not allowing you to find your truth, as this young lady would tell me every day when we worked, it's not really saying get rid of them, but just know that's not part of your engine. You need an engine. Go and get the engine. Because this business is tough enough as it is already. Nothing in it is promised to any of us. I will never sit up here and give you advice on this is what you should do to become a director. The main thing, write it on everything you go out to direct, on every page of every short film. If you're shooting a music video, if you're doing whatever your name is, write the word B right before that. I still do that to this day. Every single episode I directed on Bass Reeves says B Damian. That's the number one advice I can give you, because you will be tested. And what I can assure you is that you don't want to lose in this business and not know yourself, because you don't want to have to go find that person after this business is done with you. So take that as the advice, please.
Mm-hmm. The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers. The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
And speaking of engines, he mentions Taylor Sheridan, and if you've ever heard of Yellowstone, this is the man that's behind that. But tell us about the engine of David Oyelowo.
Man, I really want to hear Lauren's side of this. For me as a director, we go out and we have a page count every day that we try to go and, we're doing 4 pages today, 3 pages, whatever the case may be. Working with David Oyelowo for me was working with someone, and Lauren has this as well, which is they find a way to get other things off of the page that aren't just the lines. In reggae music, we call it a reverb. David Oyelowo is a reverb, because when he hit, it's going to trail off, and you're going to feel it, and you're going to stay feeling it at the end of the scene. And I have to say that is probably the most remarkable individual quality that, as a director to actor relationship, I've seen from him. But we saw the scenes between those two, and they get better and better as the season goes. So I want to hear from you. What was that like? Because myself and Christina, the other director, our writers, our producers, were just so enamored with all of you all through this that we felt like y'all had like some kind of weird competition going, or because it just got better. Every day we would go to work and say, wow, did you see that scene? Did you see what David did today? Did you see what Lauren did today? Did you see what Demi did today? So, you know, I'm not sure what you all tapped into, but it was pretty amazing.
You know, I think, no, we didn't have any bets, but we did, I mean, the bar was set from the very beginning, and I met David. It was, you know, when the project was coming together, it was just me and David that were signed on. And whether you guys know or not, but you know, there is this whole British invasion thing, right? And it's a real thing. But in this case, it's not a matter of them saying, oh, let's just go get David Oyelowo and make him a Black American hero. David Oyelowo read about Bass Reeves. David Oyelowo went to every company in Hollywood to pitch this story, and nobody wanted to take it on for over almost 10 years. And he held firmly to the belief that this story should be told. That's the engine that made this possible, right? So, and then you take that and then you say, and then he says, and who are the truth tellers that can make it possible, not just the names. And that's why I think I had a shot, you know, at it, because he said, I see something in Lauren that maybe the executives or the money powers that be may not see in her name, but I see it in her heart and in her craft. And so that, him understanding that and knowing that David is an actor's actor, you know, set the bar for everybody, I think, in the cast. And then his spirit and his generosity and his love, and he prayed the first day that before the cameras rolled, you know, like that's him, that's his engine, that's who he is.
Well, I am going to wrap, but I will let you guys know that for your age group, Lonnie Chavis, who's been in This Is Us, is going to show up. Demi Singleton, who played Serena in King Richard, is going to show up. Yeah. And I will wrap this up with the importance of showing Black love. As this goes on, you're going to see that it is not just the love between a man and a woman. We're talking about the love of a family, the love of a community. Yeah. So could you guys kind of address that and take us out on a note of love?
Yeah, I think, I don't think we get here if it's not for our communities, right? We're not here in Howard University if not for the concerted effort of people who had ideas, who had dreams, who had hopes for the people that would come after them in the faces they wouldn't see. And I think that's exactly the value system that led Bass Reeves, that led Jenny Reeves, that led them to say, we're going to cultivate this family and we're going to create this legacy. And I won't spoil the things that they also get into, but you know, citizenhood is the real thing, and creating, yes, Tulsa is one iteration of a Black community and neighborhood and city, but there are a lot of townships that are important. So we get into all of those things that were specific about Reconstruction. And I hope you liked it, because I couldn't be more proud of what we did. And it's something that I think deserves to be championed as much as possible, because it's us. We're not Hollywood didn't create this story, we did. We lived it.
And all I'll add to that is, I think the season will be a treat for you. I don't think you're gonna have to sit there and cry about our pain too much. But one thing I love that is a tone of our show, as a Black man in this world, our Black women have been saving us forever, since back in the 1800s. So I love to see this woman and her daughter grow as the season goes on, and the things that you'll see from them, because I know the poster is the man on the horse, but the two of them could have definitely been another poster for this. And I think it is very entertaining, and I hope you all just feel very prideful and understand that we have had a very, you know, even if it hasn't been talked about, maybe it's been hidden for whatever reason. We have had a very positive history in this country. There are stories, they just haven't been told, and it's about time that we walk around with our heads held high. So that's all I got for you.
So Howard University, show your love for your very own. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
The 2024 HBCU First Look Film Festival and Challenge is here. Join us this November 8th through 10th at Howard University for amazing film screenings, enlightening workshops, celebrity guest appearances, internship opportunities, and more. Submit your film by August 28th for a chance to win a cash prize and internship opportunity. Secure your stay with our hotel packages at the Residence Inn by Marriott. For more information, visit hbcufirstlook.com.
It's time to embrace you, your melanin-rich skin, and its unique beauty needs.
When you get over the age of 50, you definitely have to start using things on your skin.
I Know is made specifically to address maturing skin conditions. All of the I Know products provide highly effective natural ingredients dedicated to delivering proven results.
The best advice my mother gave me, take care of your skin now so to take care of you later.
I Know, your beauty solution for maturing skin. I Know Skincare guides you through your unique skin conditions, sensitivities, and challenges as it matures through life's transformation. I Know provides highly effective skincare products with natural ingredients formulated to offer solutions and deliver effective moisturizing results, giving your skin the hydration it needs while reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. I Know. It's time for a new relationship with your skincare.
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
If you know, you know. If not, let me shine some light. About a story that begins with sacrifice, doubt, and perilous plight. It's about the discipline of practice to perfect their gifts and the solitude of ascension as their fortunes shift. To make it out alive with their dreams intact was the hope of a people, young, gifted, and black. Sports became the path that transformed athletes into kings.
Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Alan Shakes gets two. You don't get caught.
I refuse to believe this anyone could beat me.
While hip-hop paved the road for artists to spread their wings.
Hip-hop created a sense of being.
Sports and hip-hop coincide.
As a youngster, the first things you begin to connect and fall in love with, being an athlete, being an artist. The culture is the apex where these roads intertwine. This is a story, once upon a time.
That was amazing. That was amazing. So Julian, come on up. Come on up to the stage. I'll give a round of applause for Julian. He's the man, the mastermind behind all of this. Brother, that was amazing. That was amazing. We're gonna keep this quick. We're gonna keep this real quick so we can get a couple of questions in. But that was tremendous because this is about legacy, this is about history, this is about moving the movement forward and how culture, how our culture, sports, and hip hop blended together. So Julian, first of all, congratulations on the award. You got an award. Tell the people about the award. Give him a round of applause. He got an award.
Well, not for this.
That's all right. He still got an award.
Yeah.
We're giving you your flowers while you're here.
Okay. Yeah, well, last year I did a piece called Without You. It was a Jackie Robinson tribute, and Nas narrated it, and it won 2 national sports Emmys last year.
Okay, all right, round of applause. That's an amazing accomplishment because brothers in the media need to be celebrated. They need to be celebrated, especially when they're having some success. So let's talk about this. Your vision for this. How did you decide that you wanted to tell this story?
Well, you know, for me, my focus as a director is to tell stories about the Black experience in America. And, you know, I just so happen to work for ESPN. And so when I started at ESPN, you know, I knew the anniversary was coming up. And I said, you know, the 50th anniversary is coming up. We should do something, you know, at ESPN. Well, what do? You know, everything you do has to be geared towards sports. Obviously, it was an obvious connection where, you know, sports and hip hop connect, but no one's ever really told the full story of the connection of hip hop and sports. So I thought it was a great opportunity to explore this idea. And, you know, it took about a year for the executives to say, we like it. And once they said we like it, it was off to the races.
Right. Off to the races. All right, we're talking about the baggy shorts, the black socks, the Jordans, the Raider hats. Absolutely. All of that stuff was all weaving it together and part of our culture and part of sports in our culture. I had all that stuff, by the way, yes. Except the Jordans. I couldn't afford those. But why do you think it's important for people to see this particular kind of story, especially when you're talking about moving the culture forward?
Right. Well, I think, you know, 2 sides of it. I think as Black people, we should be celebrating our culture. We should be celebrating who we are, and we should be constantly learning about our history as much as possible. And I also think, you know, other cultures, other races should really learn this is where we're from. This is where we started. And look how far we've come as a culture. Look how far we've come as a people. And, you know, hip hop and sports are just 2 examples of where we started from the bottom, now we're here, you know. And so I think, you know, that's my goal, is to continue to tell stories about our history so that people have an understanding and an empathy for us as a community.
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers. The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
Did anything about this when you're putting this together? Because I know it was you know, it's work.
Yeah.
But when you're putting this together, did anything that you did inside this documentary, did it surprise you? Were you like, okay, I knew this? Did it surprise you? Anything like that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that Big Daddy Kane tailored his whole rap style after Muhammad Ali. I didn't know that. When I went into the interview, I had no idea. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, when he said it, I was like, that was the first time I was like, that's the first real connection that I have that I didn't know. Right. And so that kind of put me into this, you know, lane of like Muhammad Ali, you know, has contributed so much to culture, right. But a lot of people don't know what he's contributed to hip hop. But that idea came from Big Daddy Kane saying, I tailored my whole style off of Muhammad Ali. Right. And so, you know, I think Big Daddy Kane gave us a lot of jewels. You know, I had no idea that Rakim was an athlete. You know, I knew kind of a little bit, but I had no idea that he played ball and he thought he was going to be an NFL quarterback. You know, I had no idea about that. Right. So, yeah, it was quite a few things that were revelations that I thought really helped me craft the story as I was interviewing.
Right. All right. Now, a lot of y'all might not know this. I was a big fan of Shaq as a rapper, okay? I'm the hooper, the hyper, protected by a viper. See, y'all didn't think I knew that, did you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and him with the pooch knickers and all that stuff. So when you talk about, you know, the evolution from, there was a quiet period, the Jordan years, the 80s, and then you get into LeBron, because to me, when I see this, I remember this was when it was happening with LeBron, because LeBron at some point said he was going to be like, this was early on, he was going to be like Muhammad Ali. And some people in the media laughed at him. They were like, why don't you just win some basketball games first? So when you see how far we've come into what we've evolved into hip-hop and sports together and how important that is to our culture, what do you think about that? When you put this all together and now you're like, okay, I see this, and I hope other people see this as well.
I'm just proud. I'm proud that, you know, the athletes, because for me, I looked up to Jordan, I looked up to the athletes, I looked up to the rappers, I looked up to Jay-Z. So it gives me pride that like I can tell a story about what they've contributed to our community in a positive way, right? Because the music that we listen to, the people, the sports that we watch on television, that's just one part of it. But then you start to explore, then you realize that like they're more important than just the sport. They're more important than just the music, and they're showing it and they're doing it. And so to be able to showcase that, like look at what we're doing, look at how important these people are, and look at what they're doing to uplift our community. It makes me proud, and I'm proud that ESPN gave me the ball to be able to tell this story. They didn't, they got out of my way, and they let me tell the story the way that I wanted to tell the story, and that's important for us as filmmakers to be able to keep your perspective and your point of view on the stories that you tell, because that's all we have as filmmakers is our point of view and our perspective. And so the fact that ESPN was like, you do it the way you want to do it, we'll support you, was a beautiful thing.
That is a beautiful thing. So real quick, does anybody have any questions? Any questions?
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers. The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
Hi, my name is Ramaya Davis. I'm a sophomore film and TV major from Washington, D.C. And I wanted to ask a process of, I have some experience in doing documentaries, and I want to know, how do you go about constructing really great questions to ask like people like Rakim?
Yes.
Yeah, as an example,
Yep.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Yep.
Yep.
Great question. That's a great question. That's actually the foundation of documentary filmmaking is the person that you're interviewing, right? So you have to be able to craft. It comes down to understanding your story. What story are you trying to tell? So when you go into a documentary, a lot of times you'll have an idea of what this story is going to be. Based off the idea of what you think it's going to be, you have to craft questions so that you can get the answer that you think you're supposed to get. What happens is, though, you interview somebody and then it goes over here, and then it goes over here. So then you have to stay engaged in the interview, right? So you start with a list of questions, but you have to pay attention and listen. A lot of people that interview, they don't listen to what they're saying because they're just focused on asking the next question. You have to listen to what they're saying and respond accordingly, because if a story goes left, you have to be able to follow that story if it's better than what you originally set out to do. And I think that's the whole key. But to start, know your story, have an idea of your beginning, your middle, and end, and then from there, you'll be able to craft your questions to try to get the answer that you want. And that's you.
It's interesting that you said that, because early on in my career, and I'm pretty seasoned,
yes.
But early on in my career, when I would interview people, it was just like you said. I had 10 questions, and I don't care what they said, I was going to go with those 10 questions, and I'd be missing all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
They'd be saying all this great stuff, and I would miss it all.
Yep.
And then when I got older and more seasoned, I would have my questions, and it'd be 1, 2, and then, like you said, they would go left, and then I'd follow them left.
Yep.
And then now the story is even better. So that's a great point. So that's a great point. Somebody else had a question.
Hi, my name is Jaden Alexander. I'm an actor. So the question I have for you is, what are the boundaries that hip hop and sports broke, like through the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, et cetera, all the trials and tribulations that they had to go through, all the times they had to be defiant? Do you think that, with how easily accessible things are now, do you think there is a chance to even break more boundaries with sports and culture and like hip hop than we did before?
Absolutely.
On a large level.
100%. I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron is what he's doing. No one would ever think an athlete would be a billionaire, while they're playing. You know what I mean? Like what Serena's doing. And I think, sports and hip hop, now it's at the top. And so it's the responsibility of the artist, it's the responsibility of the athlete to take that that strength and that power and use it for good, you know, so it's really up to the athlete. But I think the sky's the limit in terms of breaking barriers. I think we're going to continue to break barriers. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to dominate, in my opinion, you know, but it's up to what the athlete and the artist do with that power, you know what I mean? And so, but, you know, this stopped in 2008, right? Like, but so much has happened even since this film in the last 20 years since. And so, you know, maybe one day I'll get to do a part 2, and the part 2, there's going to be just as many barriers broken, just as many challenges, right? Because we know what we've been through in the last decade. But, you know, I think the pressure bust pipes, and, you know, I think it makes us stronger as a people. It forces us to come together. And I think it's just going to keep going from there, and we're going to keep being great.
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
The 2024 HBCU First Look Film Festival and Challenge is here. Join us this November 8th through 10th at Howard University for amazing film screenings, enlightening workshops, celebrity guest appearances, internship opportunities, and more. Submit your film by August 28th for a chance to win a cash prize and internship opportunity. Secure your stay with our hotel packages at the Residence Inn by Marriott. For more information, visit hbcufirstlook.com.
It's time to embrace you, your melanin-rich skin, and its unique beauty needs.
When you get over the age of 50, you definitely have to start using things on your skin.
I Know is made specifically to address maturing skin conditions. All of the I Know products provide highly effective natural ingredients dedicated to delivering proven results.
The best advice my mother gave me, take care of your skin now so to take care of you later.
I Know, your beauty solution for maturing skin. I Know Skincare guides you through your unique skin conditions, sensitivities, and challenges as it matures through life's transformation. I Know provides highly effective skincare products with natural ingredients formulated to offer solutions and deliver effective moisturizing results, giving your skin the hydration it needs while reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. I Know. It's time for a new relationship with your skincare.
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.
Thank you. Hi, good evening. Oh, do I need to stand?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Sister Rella. Rella is what people call me. I am a cosmetologist and a historian. And my question for you is because I heard you mention history. So with where we are in the climate today, do you see filmmaking capturing and preserving the descendant community and our history moving forward and re-emerging the information for us to, I guess, fall back in love in who we are, as how you mentioned it earlier?
We have to. I mean, I think it's our duty as filmmakers, especially documentary filmmakers, to record the history the way it's supposed to be recorded, right? You know, when you make a documentary, it should be based in fact. And what I try to do is when I tell a story, try to base it in fact. And so I hope that this film, 10, 20 years from now, when people want to know about the origins of hip hop and sports, they can say, oh, there's a film that came out 10 years ago called The Crossover, go check it out. And they're able to learn about who we are as a people, and it's entertaining, but at the same time, I hope you learn something. You know, when I step into a film or I make anything, you know, I want you to feel something, I want you to learn something, I want you to say, that was cool. You know, if I could have those three things, I know I have a good project. And so, you know, but the most important thing is to learn something, you know, especially when you're doing documentary filmmaking, and it's up to all of us as filmmakers, as storytellers, because we're the only ones that can tell the story the way we want to tell it, right? Like, no one would have pitched this idea at ESPN if I didn't pitch it. So you have to pitch it. You know, if there's something on TV that you want to see, go do it. Go make it, go write it, you know what I mean? And it'll get done, you know, because great story will always rise to the top, and it will always, you know, be made somehow, some way, so, yeah.
All right, so we're almost out of time, so last question, unfortunately, last question. He's got the mic, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Chaka. I love the film.
Thank you, thank you.
So one of the comments that one of the ladies said was that sports and music were two of the areas that we were allowed to excel in. Do you have any further thoughts about that? And also, I just wanted to comment on your archive footage was so clean. How did you get it to look so clean?
I'll start with the archive. The archive, that's very tedious, very hard work. You have to reach out to the sources to get that stuff. So shout out to ABC News, a lot of that stuff, because the good thing of working for a big network like ESPN is we're connected to a lot of different sources. One of the sources is ABC. And so we were able to get a lot of that historical stuff as it was shot, like the actual reels. And so, that's how we're able to do that. But, it's a whole process, archival, especially for this film. I could spend another hour telling you about how hard it was to get all this stuff cleared. But that's really the process. How you have to have somebody on your team that can reach out to sources and YouTube clips, and you have to get the actual, you could pull the YouTube clip, but you got to find the source. And it's just hard. It's work that you got to do. It's part of the process. And in terms of your comment, that was Nicole Hannah-Jones who said that. I think the point is, a lot of people, when we're young, we say, I want to be a football player, or I want to be a basketball player, or I want to be a rapper. And for a long time, that's what we saw. And so we see somebody being successful, we say we want to be that. But the truth of the matter is, we're successful in a lot of different areas. My wife is a doctor. And so, I admire my wife. I look up to my wife because, she's a Black woman and she's a doctor, urgent care, sports medicine. And so, although this film is about sports and hip hop, there needs to be more stories about the other things that we've accomplished as a people, the other areas that we've dominated as a people. And I think, that's up to us to tell those stories, to find those people and shine light on the many, many areas that we are great in, and that's that. But that's what she means by that. It's finding out the other areas that you can be successful in, and that's kind of up to us as journalists to find those stories and get them out to the people so they know what's out there for us.
Thank you very much. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Support him in everything that he's doing so he can continue to make these kinds of films and documentaries. So we need to support him in any way possible.
The Let's Talk series with Hollywood movers and shakers.